Hello, I'm Jake Boudreau, civic journalist at Telul Community Television. Today, I'm speaking with Hawkesbury Mayor Brenda Chism-Beaton, who announced her intention to reoffer in the upcoming municipal election in October. Welcome to Telul, Brenda.
Thanks so much, Jake. It's such a pleasure to be here.
So you recently announced your intention to reoffer to seek a third term as mayor.
I did.
And be your fourth term on Hawkesbury Town Council.
Correct.
Maybe you can explain what went into that decision?
I do have 3 terms under my belt. The first term was my very first run at municipal government. So there was a lot of learning that first term. I came in my first year as deputy mayor. I really did enjoy working with people, community groups, and I really enjoyed seeing positive things happen for the town. So I decided to run for mayor in 2016. Was acclaimed at that point, and then did a whole nother level of learning as the mayor in that position, which was great, and certainly the election in 2020, I wasn't acclaimed. I ran and won during very uncertain times during COVID, and again, more learning. I have to say I learned something new every single day. Municipal government is a huge machine with many moving working parts. There's so much to municipal government, and like anything from water utility to active transportation to recreation and an active healthy lifestyle. There's just so much, and also I continue to meet wonderful people who are passionate about both the town of Port Hawkesbury and also the region, and with an appetite to see it grow. So we have lots of exciting projects that have been ongoing over the past year and that will continue into 2025. So I'm really still enjoying the role. Still got lots of energy and excitement, so I did put my name forward again for another term for mayor of Port Hawkesbury.
What are the major issues facing the town?
Well, I can say that we have had some challenges and issues really that have carried on from all of the terms I served on council. So from 2012 to 2016 to 2020, I would have to say one very, very pressing issue was certainly around housing. So we have had housing shortage issues all across the housing spectrum. And certainly when I was knocking on doors as a brand new candidate running for municipal government, I was hearing about seniors who wish they had some turnkey options in the town of Port Hawkesbury, hearing from students who wish they had more options, and who had friends who had to pull out of the NSCC Strait area and Nautical Institute because they couldn't find a place to live. I mean, so in order to grow the town, it makes sense that housing is certainly something that isn't specifically a municipal responsibility, but there are lots of things municipalities can do to move the needle to create that enabling environment, like promoting Port Hawkesbury to developers, and like working, for example, working with the Nova Scotia Community College to help however we can, and they certainly enjoyed a great success of having their new student residence, and hopefully in the future they'll have a second one. With some luck, because there certainly is a lot of assets with the town of Port Hawkesbury. It's not just about challenges. In other priorities, in opportunities, and of course, like just going back to housing, I did start out by saying it was an issue, but isn't it a great opportunity as well? It's a great opportunity for investors because Port Hawkesbury is a town on the move. We've got amazing opportunities just in the very near horizon with regard to green hydrogen and with regard to just really all of those opportunities in the green energy sector, including the emerging offshore wind opportunity. So it's a really exciting time to be at the local level. And isn't it a wonderful opportunity to be in the position of managing growth versus, earlier on in 2012 and 2016 when we were really kind of managing, flat and declining assessments. Now we're in a position to be managing growth. So just when I look at how things started back in 2012 to today, it really makes me excited for our future. And yeah, I'm putting my name forward. I hope that I get to be part of that.
So you mentioned issues like housing, growth, rising assessments and all that. What do you see are some of the solutions to, I don't know if those are problems, but certainly issues that the town has to tackle?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mentioned earlier that the town really has to look at creating an enabling environment for development and growth, especially in the housing sector. And of course, we kind of look at it from the perspective of economic development overall, but particularly for housing, it's about, planning new subdivisions, like, figuring out, how we're going to, push in sewer and water to be able to enable developments to happen. It's about promoting the town and all of the properties that we have as a municipality, and figuring out, as well in terms of, our being proactive with zoning, for example, so that Reeve Street was rezoned to mixed use, which will enable people to live, work, and play on Reeve Street. So, because we got lots of recreation, it's our business corridor as well, and now developers can come in and create mixed use, so commercial on the bottom and residential above, which is, a great proactive thing, an example of what a council can do to help create that enabling environment for development.
So in this upcoming term, what are your goals? What are the things you'd like to see accomplished before the end of the term?
Absolutely. So as a council, we did set some priorities in 2016, many for which carried over in 2020. And I did, certainly mention housing, but something that became, obviously the town became even more acutely aware of when COVID kind of befell, I want to say the planet, because it wasn't just for Hawkesbury. Obviously, it was a global, illness. So certainly healthcare really kind of took the forefront. And so we did continue to work in collaboration with the municipality of the County of Richmond. And we're doing such wonderful work under the Cape Breton South Recruiting for Health, which the municipalities co-fund. And we have a wonderful director that's doing fantastic work in combination with the work that the province is doing to attract doctors, nurses, other medical healthcare professionals, and trying to move the needle on that. We're seeing lots of strides with regard to medical healthcare retention and attraction, because is there a better place than Cape Breton South to live, honestly, Jake? Is there a place more beautiful? I don't think so.
I would say no.
I knew we were going to agree on that point.
Definitely.
Yeah, so in addition to medical healthcare recruitment and attraction, of course, economic development is very important. We're looking at our waterfront, and we're looking at other opportunities, along our commercial corridor, like partnerships with the Strait Area Chamber of Commerce, with the Cape Breton Partnership. We definitely want to work with all the stakeholders in that economic development world to make sure that we are a good partner to see good things happen economically in the town of Port Hawkesbury, but also in the Strait area. Other things that we're looking at in terms of the town of Port Hawkesbury specifically is we want to make sure that we have a town for everyone, a town that's fully connected. So active transportation and recreation have always been a high priority for our town council, and certainly it's important to be able to offer as a town a healthy, active lifestyle for people who are living or visiting the town. You may have noticed how amazing our active transportation trails are being used, especially the 30-year-long connection between the NSCC Strait Area campus and Embreeze Island to our uptown core. For 30 years from the time that the NSCC was built there to the installation of that AT trail in 2019, it was not a good situation for students who were, walking along Reeve Street at a very narrow guardrail, especially in the winter. So we were really excited to see that is so well used. I was actually speaking with Larry McKeegan, who is certainly a huge advocate and really hero when it comes to our trail system in the town. So we have 10 kilometers of trails in the town as well. And he was saying, like, just showing me the counts, because our trailheads are now counting users on each of the trailheads. Like, they're in the thousands, Jake. Like, so isn't it wonderful that our town is a town that, you know, you can enjoy an active, healthy lifestyle. But we also want to be a town for everybody through accessibility. And we want to be serious about those 2030 accessibility goals. So we have an absolutely amazing Port Hawkesbury Accessibility Advisory Committee. We are like so excited to eventually have Granville Green completely accessible. We're slowly kind of chipping away at that a little at a time. And, you know, making sure that our whole town is connected, so that, you know, every single citizen, regardless of age or level of ability, can get from point A to point B. And, you know, if they don't have a vehicle, you know, if they're walking, or if they're in a wheelchair, or if they're in a scooter, we want to make sure that Port Hawkesbury is for everyone.
Unfortunately, our interview was cut short due to an unexpected power outage in Ayrshire on August 14th. The mayor did provide written responses to my final two questions. The first being, with the election set for October 19th, what are your campaign plans for these coming weeks? Chism-Beaton responded that our campaign plan for this election will be multifaceted. She said, and I quote, "I plan to do the traditional door-to-door visits with residents to hear from them most importantly. I'll bring my notepad to ensure I capture everything that is important." The mayor went on to say, "I'll also be sharing as much information as possible about my leadership and the work our town has been able to do together over the past 8 years. I hope to see people at various events, but I definitely want people to know they are more than welcome to approach me anytime if they like, if they have questions, or want to discuss ideas. People can expect to see my signs out soon, so if anyone would like to show their support, they can definitely contact me," the mayor added. The final question was, since this will be the first completely electronic election in Port Hawkesbury, do you anticipate any problems or challenges? Chism-Beaton responded that she is very excited about the electronic voting. She maintained, and I quote, "It will eliminate spoiled ballots, and the election results will be available at the touch of a button. When we used both electronic and paper ballots last year, we found there was a huge uptake for electronic voting, which means that many of our voters will already be familiar with it. For those who aren't, we will have polling stations with tablets as well as people to assist them through the process." She added that people can still come in person to vote on election day as in the past. However, they will cast their vote electronically rather than on paper. I would like to thank the mayor for taking time out of her busy schedule to answer my questions.